Yep.
Hey, this is County Board of Appeal Equalization meeting. Stand for the pledge.
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, can we go over the
Yeah, because I think we need to normally start off with the oath.
swearing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it right? You read it together.
I, Dallas Rossman, solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, and that I will faithfully execute and discharge the duties of the Pipestone County Board of Appeal and Equalization according to law, to the best of my ability and understanding.
I will just go ahead, and start with the trained members and, your year that you will expire. For training, that is. Chris, you are good through July 1st to 28th. Luke, you're good through July 1st to 27. Doug, you're good till July 1st to 26, but if you're not.
Last year, so, yeah.
You can take it again if you want.
Oh, just move on.
And then Dallas, you are good through July 1st to 28. And well, Dan's not here, but yeah, he's gonna be done too, so. And then, I do have some. The online training stuff, so in case. You guys are all good for a while, but if for the two new ones, I would suggest that they take it, just because it's.
Can you do it anytime now, or?
You can do it anytime. There's it's good for 4 years and they would not be good until July of 26, starting that's like. Not now, but you can take it anytime though. So I don't know if you want me to give you one, Steve, or should I wait until. Oh, that's not it. Yeah, we need, I'll wait, never mind. Yeah, that's not. So if you guys want, we can, hear Jeremy and then
Okay.
we can kind of, we can go over the rest of the packet, if that's okay.
Sure.
Jeremy, you wanna come up?
Sure. Hi there. How are you doing today?
Good.
Hey, so I was just, actually doing some research on something we're gonna potentially buy and I ran across something. That's kind of an anomaly, and actually, I do kind of know how it happened and why it happened, but I'm just bringing it to your attention, so. So the Pipestone Development Company, we have 11 open lots on what I call the hill property, where the old hill school used to be. Our tax value, so those lots are 18,450 square feet. And I'm gonna compare this to some other lots that are also bare lots in Pipestone. And they're being taxed less, but they're 27,550 square feet, so they're actually a third bigger than our property with a lower tax value. So in 25, our tax value for these 11 lots was 30,900, and in 26, our tax value is 30,900. On the lots, I'm gonna compare that to the lots at Browns, the former Brown School, there's 5 lots to the south of Quick Trip. In 25, the tax value of those lots was 35,600, and in 26 are 17,300. So like I said, their lots are a third bigger than ours. They're getting charged $292 a lot. We're getting charged $524 a lot. I did talk to the owner of those lots, and he said that they did come and like pointed out or complained that they thought that their $35,000 assessment was too high, which I agree too. You know, because I know the Southwest Acres are giving lots away, so they're just grass lots. So I'm just bringing it to your attention. I don't know if there's some type of protocol you guys have that when you're valuing stuff that you know, if you have lots based off size, that if it's a grass lot, it should be probably another grass lot, I would think.
Eric's called Quest, did he call you at all?
No. No. I haven't talked, I know Eric and I haven't talked to him, so.
Oh, I apologize,
Yeah.
we gave him, as soon as you came in, we gave
Yeah,
him
he
a
hasn't
great
talked
call.
to me, so.
I will have you
Yeah.
call
Yeah,
you,
that's
but
fine.
yes, I wanna, definitely, we'll definitely look at that for next year for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, we were under the impression that he was gonna call you, cause I
Yeah.
even told him that I was at a summer seminar. And I
Yeah.
said that you had came in.
yeah,
I don't know, I'm sorry. I don't-
no, it's fine, you know, I understand, you know, cause they went and they complained about it, and so they got theirs lowered, and I didn't come complain about mine, but. I was just looking at, you know, possibly purchasing theirs, like, why they're cheaper than mine?
There should be a good reason.
Yeah, there should be a good reason.
Yeah, and I,
Yeah, they
yeah,
come
I
in,
wanna know
that's
too.
what.
I wanna know
It
too
is what it is.
why. Yeah,
If anything, I mean, I'm not the assessor, but where their lots are on the highway versus in a more secluded residential, I don't know if that makes a difference, but it might.
Well, so, and I talked to the assessor, they both have sewer and water in them, so from a standpoint, they have the same classification. To me, a lot on the highway is probably worth more than a residential lot, that's kind of in the middle of town, in my opinion.
That's what I was.
You know, they sold the Quick Trip lot for $600,000. It's, you know, so this is the same size as that, even though it's on the other side of the highway,
Right,
which isn't worth as much, but it's probably worth more than my residential lots, you know, in the middle of town.
right.
So, but it is what it is. I guess I just bring it to you guys' attention that this is just, I noticed this and I found it is an anomaly, so.
and unfortunately it happened after the
Yeah.
Pipestone meeting, right? So we really can't do anything, but I definitely want,
Yep.
we'll get answers and I will have. Eric
Yeah.
call you.
Like I said, well, I can kind of see how it happened, it's not like it's, but
But it,
there should be some type of a mechanism.
yeah, I
that-
wanna
It's
know.
comparable property, if I have a house that's, you know, 2,000 square foot and I'm paying for a comparable house, and I'm paying twice as much, there's something wrong with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I really wasn't in. So, yeah, we definitely will.
All right,
We'll be talking in
Okay, that's
fun.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
Yep.
sorry about
No, it's
that,
fine.
yeah,
It's-
no,
it's what it
but
is.
I'm glad you let us know.
Yep.
So,
Well, random things, you know, I'm digging through the county websites and I find this stuff.
Right.
no, exactly,
Yeah,
but,
so,
yeah.
All right.
Hopefully, yeah, it'll, yeah, we'll
okay,
talk to us soon, or I'll call them tomorrow, actually.
okay, that's fine, yeah, you called me, so,
Okay, sounds good,
all right,
thank you.
yep, thank you, that's all I got, guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Jerry. Pretty painless.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep, see ya.
And so I'll just kind of go through the packet. The first page I'm gonna talk about looks like this, it's what we did different, basically our main thing that we did, on all the house garage. Buildings is our manual level was low, which is our building schedule. Cause our newer houses we couldn't touch them. So we went up 15% on that. And with that, if, so when we get our state median, we have to adjust according to that. So we went up 15%, but if we were, you know, so when we do our mapping level on it to adjust to get to that 90 to 105%, that may, you know, so we might have went up here and then had to go way down just to get that to work out. This is normally you don't have to do that. Normally it's just the mapping and where the sales are, but we get 1 year out of this for what, you know, until we have to, you know, readjust that. So I'm trying not to make it sound confusing, but it kind of is with the numbers. But, and then, so basically at your city of Pipestone, we had 53 sales, and your average increase was 7%. So that's when I mentioned the manual level. You'll see there, some of the areas went down 13, some went up 9. So the average was 7. And same with Edgerton, you had 14 sales, the median ratio there was 82. So with that, you know, you had some increases and some decreases. And then same with Jasper, we're gonna kind of go over them again, so I'm gonna kind of make this part short. And then if you look at the map area changes on that second sheet, you can also see what we changed. In the, on each map. And then the next one we have is our estimated market value by district. And that looks like the two here, and they kind of go hand in hand. Basically, it's just showing that we are 75% ag, which doesn't surprise anybody. 17% residential, and then the last little 5% on commercial. So that's where our pieces of the pie get broken up for, when we do your taxes and everything else. Your tax rate, so that's where it's all coming from.
So we have $2.8 billion worth of ag land now.
Yeah, value, value, that's our estimated market values, so, and then the 600 million of the cities. If you guys have questions on along the way, just go ahead and holler at me, okay? The next one, we're just gonna go over the sales, and this is where I'll start out with the ag sale. Might not be the same order as you, so. So bear with me. So for the ag sales, we were at 89.11%. And then after we tweaked our areas, we got it to 91.69. So that's where all these have to be within that 90 to 105. So I just got that into that area. And then, I have the city of Pipestone on mine, I don't know. You might have to flip it around here and there. But the city of Pipestone was at, initial ratio was at 90.89. And then we ended up with 97.6. And that, change in the map area we mentioned. Edgerton, we were at 82.13%. And then, we ended up with 93.38. Jasper, we were at 89.6 and ended up at 94.92%. And then small cities, we lump them all together. Just because we're gonna have 6 sales anymore, so they kind of work, we'll always lump them together. They started out at 86.81%, and then they did go up to 93.7. And then commercial, most of them, I think, most of them, except for 2 sales, are in. 2 sales were in Edgerton, the rest were in Pipestone, but we started off at 87.7%. And then went to the 95%. And then the rural res, started at 103, and then with adjusting that down to 95.6. And I don't know if I gave you these or not, but these are just some preliminary for next year. We're starting off at October 1st through till September 30th, so we have a long time, and that's with the green on there.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just gonna quick go through them. Ag, we are at 85% right now, 85.53, so I never get too worked up over any of these yet, until we know. Until it gets closer to September 30th and later. Rural res, we're at 93.28, so we're good there. Commercial, we only have 1, so I'm not even gonna worry, it's at 70.8, so nothing. Not even gonna stress over that. Pipestone City right now is at 93.64. Edgerton, we're at 93.45, so we're all in that ballpark there. Jasper, only 1 sale at 85, so I'm not worried there either. Yes. And then the small cities is at 86.8. So. Still not too worried yet, there's only two. And then the next one, oh, and with all them. Percentages and everything, we did not get a state order this year, so we did, we're in our compliances, so. I didn't have to get yelled at. From my TCO. The next one I did, I've done this at other counties and I think they've always liked it, but it's just your average price per acre. For your tillable and your deed-in, so it's for each township. And then for the whole county at the bottom. And then it looks like this, yeah, and it's just it's a nice guy, you can, sometimes I can only tell, cause as soon as you get down close to the rock, it's a little bit. The land is selling higher there and versus Lincoln County, so. But just a little. Nice information there.
Just curious, cause where Sweet and Gray is a little higher. Does it have anything to do with the proximity to the city of Pipestone? And then Osborne being where everything is?
Probably, that's kind of my guess too, as, cause I would say, and it all depends on. Sometimes where the bigger farmers are. It all depends, or. Hey, this piece isn't gonna come up again, so I'm gonna, it's just, there's gonna be a lot of factors in there.
Well, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cause, the northern ones, like Alta or Altona, I'm thinking that's gonna be more hillier, like,
Right.
and. So, yeah, where you're talking about that flat ground. And then, just for the ag tier, for taxes. For taxes this year, so, values 25 payable taxes this year. The ag tier for homesteading is at 3.8 million. So anything that is. Above that would get taxed at 1%, everything 8.3 and below is at taxed at 0.5%. And then for 26 values payable in 27. That's when it goes up to 3,840,000.
So that's like 1% of the full value of the company.
This is what the state gives us.
I mean, is that?
Oh,
Is that
so,
the 1% means?
Yes.
1% of the
so no,
estimated value.
it just goes by, like, if you own a bunch of land, it tiers it off, or it adds it all up. And once you hit 3.8 million, so anything up here gets taxed at 0.5%. Anything over the 3.8 gets taxed at 1%.
1% of what?
Of the remaining value.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, they used to do by acres, now it's all by value.
Okay.
And then, yeah, the state gives us this, we have no idea what their formula is, and if we did, you probably won't be able to figure it out anyway. And then, basically, lastly, I have just some assessor recommendations. The first one is Elmer, let's say his last name wrong. Okay, so Elmer came to our office a couple times, but, and then he came to the, board, local board also. And we explained how the values work and all that, but, and how the tiers work, and we gave him the sheets and everything. But then he thought his CER in that, on this property was a little high, so we did, bring it back and redo the whole map on it, and it was a little high, I mean, not much, we had, 65.3, for a CER, and the new CER came up to be 65.11. So my assessor's recommendation on that would be just to lower it the $5,200. To adjust for that, to adjust for the CER. And, yeah, and he had other land, but he didn't seem.
Didn't complain about
He
it.
didn't, no, he did it, it was just this one, so.
This was his best piece of ground, actually.
And then, Okay, so that's, yeah, like I said, it wasn't much of a change, I mean, 65.3 to 65.11 and, but. Yeah, not much different. So I don't know if you want to vote as we go, or do you want me to go through them all and then vote? I guess it's up to you
You should
guys.
probably give each one separate, I would think.
I'll vote to change Elmer's valuation.
Okay, we got a motion second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed, motion carries.
And our next one was Dale, he had came to the Jasper, local board of appeal. And he had redone the outside of a house. You can see the picture of it on there. It's that white house there. He did the siding, windows and the roof. And Mary and Eric value them. But they assumed some of the inside was done. And so me and Lexi went over there to view it, and it's definitely not done inside. So my recommendation is to remove most of that value, or drop down the value to 34,200. Cause they had it valued at 96,800, and then previously it was at 40,800, so. If we bring it down to 62,600, that's still counting 20,000 for the siding, windows and the roof. So that's where I'm taking down the rest of it to account for not being done inside. And I think it's just a kind of they're letting him rent there. I think he's owned it before and they love it. They're letting.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve the Dale beer change.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay, motion second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed, motion carries.
And the next couple are from Jeremy Reaver. This one, after we viewed on this parcel, the house was there, and then after we viewed during the summer, it was gone, so we obviously missed it, so he came to the local board and we would like to just remove the house value off of that. That's,
These
yeah.
pictures are both of the same lot,
Yeah, they're exact same lots.
is that what's left of the house and that?
Yeah, that little pile there. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Are they
That could-
remove that or?
Well, and it was, cause when we went to go view it, afterwards to make sure it was down, yeah, you go around these trees and it's kind of on that one end of town, and I'm like, well, no wonder why I missed it. Cause there's only like 3 houses there, so, yeah, we kind of just. But,
I guess I'd make a motion to
remove that.
remove the building. down.
Building down.
I'll second. And then motion is second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed, motion carries.
And this next one, I am recommending no change. We explained, cause there's that little house there yet, when we only have like, was it $400 on it? It was just minimum value, and we told Jeremy that once he removes that house, then we can get rid of the value, but right now, yeah, it's just it's a rundown place there, but,
Cost more than 400 to take it down.
probably, yeah, but I'm hoping since he took down that one, he might take down this one, but, so basically at this point, I don't.
It's not worth
Not
fixing up.
recommend, yeah, I've seen more space stuff, so I don't know. And then.
I'm just thinking of the price of houses nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll kind of just watch it, see if he takes it down or not. And then the last one, what is it? That was his shop in, Ruth and
Yeah, I mean,
And he was telling us that it was used for personal use only. And we went to go view it and it's definitely still the shop and we would recommend no change on that one. So, and he kind of figured that's what we.
but it's a nice new property.
Yeah, it's, and it's very nice inside, so. And then the next one is Mark Robinson, and also the same thing, I think he was more. Wanting to know like, why we changed what we did and, or what, so it was, I think it would have been a better conversation if he would have came to the.
Is
Office.
that on Eighth Avenue?
ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours, there, yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Chris from Eric's group went to go view it and no, I recommend no change on that either. Cause he said, no, his main concern was, why do we change stuff? And that's for the market. And I think if he would have worded it different at the beginning a little bit too, we wouldn't have even went to his house, but he's like, yeah, you can come look and, yeah, so no. Our information was correct. And, let's see. I think it's our last one, right?
Everything rusted and
Where is this one located?
Oh, yeah, okay, so, yeah, Brittany Rusted.
Oh.
Oh, you got it, okay. She was comparing her house to, on Zillow, and. We can't.
So an
use it.
online source that never comes and looks at property.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, so we had Chris Baumberger with Eric's group also go view it, and he went through everything, and he's like, he goes, it's all good, I mean, there's just one little tiny strip at the top that. Mud and tape and, it's not even 1% of the house, so, we're saying no change on that also. But we wanna get them to, we wanna view them, so we give them that opportunity. And then send them a letter saying that they could still come.
Mhm.
Yeah, other than that, do you guys have any questions for me?
I have a question. A constituent talked to me and he has a small engine repair. And his taxes are commercial right now. He's talking about quitting. And keeping the building. What does he need to do to change it from commercial to personal?
Yeah, as long as he's not using it for business anymore, you can just let us know, and then when they go viewing and stuff. They'll just probably check to make sure it's being used as
Just
personal.
contact you some point along the process.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's trying to get out of business, but people keep making it work, so.
yeah, but as soon as he gets, once he's like done, I'm not, and it's, but I mean, if he's just gonna store his own.
Yeah.
Vehicles and stuff in there, just let us know, and then we can just, one of us usually will stop out, or actually, if it's in, Edgerton. Mario probably stop by and see. Yeah, it's just a phone call, and then we can go view it later and. Check it out. Yeah, but it's always easier if they call us. Up over. But. No. Sooner than later.
Anything else we need to address? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Let's have you guys quick sign it too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not quite as fast as last year.